on, you guys, and welcome to another video. Hope you guys are having a great day today. Today we are going to be talking about the things you're going to be looking for when buying an 05 to 09 GT Mustang. I have a 2007 GT Mustang. So first, when you buy a Mustang, the first thing you're gonna obviously hear slash like see in all this is your exhaust and your engine performance. When you first buy it, if you buy it completely stock, it's about 300 horsepower to the crank and about 270 to 80-ish rear wheel horsepower. But the torque is amazing on these cars. It's like you have 280 rear wheel horsepower, but your torque is like 290, maybe 300-ish. It's insane. Like when I dynoed my car, when I got this dyno like tuned and all that, I was at 300 wheel and 317 torque, which is pretty insane. And the type of engine that is in this is a 4.6 3-valve. This engine, like stock, isn't really that fast, but once you put a couple mods on it, it gets up there. And if you put some boost in it, obviously that's just night and day. So completely stock, when running this car at the track, you should expect to run like high 13s, low 14s at the track. That's completely stock with a cold air and a tune. You should, and the exhaust obviously, you should run about low 13s, low 13s, or mid 13s, around that area. I mean, like, it's not the best thing in the world, it's a nice car. Alright, another thing to look for is that it is so easy to mod this car. That like everything pretty much like you see appearance wise, like you could just throw on there and then have it painted or do whatever you want to do. But everything on this car like you want to do, you could pretty much do it yourself with at-home tools and all that. So it's well balanced out and it's real easy to mod, like to make your car look completely different. Literally all you have to do is get some springs and maybe get that chin spoiler, or in fact get the aggressive chin spoiler, just something, or a lip or whatever, and it'll completely change the way your car looks. Throw in a spoiler, who knows? Everyone has their own looks and the way they like things to look. That's the great thing about Mustangs, it's like there's a huge variety of what you can do to the car and make it look however you want. And the Mustang community is huge. That's another plus. When looking to buy this car, the price range for about this car is around $8,000 to about $12,000 at max. Like that's a little high. It also really depends on how many miles are on the car, how they actually have been taking care of it. So it all really depends on that. Like if the radiator fluid's black, obviously that's crap. Don't buy that. It's a decent car and it runs smooth and everything looks good. You can get it for about 10 grand and maybe try and lowball them to about 8, I don't know. That's pretty much the range that I've seen around where I live. This car also brings back the old classic muscle car Mustang look. As you know, the box body and the SN95s, they were trying to go for that sleek look more, and then when they hit 2005, they wanted to go back to the retro look, the old classic muscle car, and they wanted it in the style of today's generation, which, I mean, back in 2005, and they did a fantastic job. Literally, I think it looks almost similar to the old Mustangs, and it's got a nice, sleek body. Like, if you were to put both the old Mustang and this 3-valve, or an 05 to 09 Mustang, and you put them next to each other, they are going to be so similar. It looks really well overall. It's a nice platform to work on, and it's just a nice. Alright, so I know I talked about the mods on the outside of the car were pretty easy, but so is the basic bolt-ons to put on your engine, such as the cold air underdrive pulley. Let's see, what else do we have? Exhaust. That's going to be pretty hard unless you have like a lift. Headers is pretty difficult because you have to lift the engine. Like cold air intake, underdrive pulleys, throttle body, forward racing intake. It's all pretty easy to install. And another mod that is pretty easy to install, like I wouldn't recommend for yourself unless you're a mechanic, is putting cams in this car. It's pretty simple. You just throw out the heads and it's right there. You just have to have the proper tools in order to do it, which is why I didn't do it. The performance gain you get from cams and the sound you get from the cams, so worth it. Especially if you get a pair online or anything like that and you can get them for steel. That's what I went ahead and did, because I know brand new they were like $800 or $700-ish. So I was like, that's a little bit much for cams and to install them. So if we were to look at it, 700 plus 500 minimum, like that was like the lowest I could ever find. That's about 1,200 bucks right there, which is pretty expensive for cams. I would recommend waiting, finding the perfect cams that you want. Eventually someone's gonna end up selling them. So worth it though. Cam lobe right here. Listen to the pops. Or speaking of exhaust, that is probably the most satisfying, like biggest grin on your face. First mod you can pretty much do is put an axle back on your car. You don't have to do the off-road X. I mean, you can, that'll make it scream. Just throw an axle back. It's so easy to install. Throw an axle back on there, and there are so many exhaust options you can like choose from. You got Flowmaster, you got pipes, you got Corsas. You've got Borla. Oh my god, bro. So you got, there's just so many you can. Which is great, and it's just an axle back. So the axle back is just the muffler, the resonator part. It's not like all the way back. One thing I do want to point out is the interior. It is a huge improvement of the previous generation, the 99 to 04 Mustang. It looks a lot better. However, there is a couple plastic pieces that this thing, pretty much every 05 to 09 Mustang owner that I know has this thing has like ripped off or it's peeling off. I mean, it looks nice. Plastic though, it's no big deal. And it is a 5-speed manual with an automatic. I think they're a little bit slower on the dyno, but it's only like 10 horsepower, which isn't too bad. Alright, so that is a couple things you should look for when buying an 05 to 09 Mustang. Overall, it's a nice car. It's a fun car. It's easy to modify, and it's just, I love it. If you guys like this video, make sure to smash the like button. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure to hit the button. And like always, guys, have a great day. Peace.